I will start with a very short introduction of what is CellX. So CellX, also called the Danish single cell examination platform, will be established in 5 years' time as a national infrastructure for single cell and spatial omics technologies. So CellX will be an infrastructure with participating institutions like Aarhus University, Aarhus University Hospital, MoMA, and also SDCA. And then there will be also really strong core sites in Copenhagen University and University of Southern Denmark. So CellX actually really started from this large governmental grant for governmental infrastructure grant through the roadmap program, where 37.8 million Danish kroner were granted towards establishment of CellX. And then at the same time, another 42.2 million Danish kroner were allocated from local institutions. For example, KU, AU, SDU, and SDCA, also the Aarhus University Hospital. So this totally rounded up to around 80 million Danish kroner towards CellX. A little bit of background to single cell and spatial analysis was that in recent years, it's definitely a clear trend that research have gone from bulk analysis to single cell analysis, and then also moving on into spatial analysis. With the increase of sensitivity and also the increase of throughput in single cell analysis, one could not only see the information from a combined cell population, but also to reveal cellular heterogeneity, and one could look at the cell individually. But also when you go to spatial analysis, not only you can understand cell as it is, but you can also understand cellular organizations and cell-cell interactions, as well as the microenvironment the cell is sitting in. And as an example of spatial analysis, I will show you an example from CosMx from NanoStream. So with the CosMx technology, one could not only do the cell typing, cell characterization as in single cell transcriptomics, but one could also do automated cell segmentation. At the same time, there is the possibility of doing multiplexing transcriptomics and proteomics. So you can localize the different transcripts and proteins in your section. And apart from that, you could also do classical tissue staining in the same system, 10X and NanoStream. And these two companies have really devoted a lot of energy and resources into developing the cutting edge technologies in the field. So most of us actually know 10X. One of the classical lines for doing the single cell RNA-seq is the chromium single cell analysis. And then with the spatial, towards the spatial area, they have the Visium and Visium HD. Visium HD is not coming out yet, but it's definitely going to be included into CellX once it's been released. And then with NanoStream, there is GeoMX and CosMx. GeoMX will be located in MoMA, and then CosMx is actually with LASA here in Aarhus University Biomedicine Department. And both of the instrumentations can be dedicated to spatial transcriptomics and proteomics, even though the two technologies are slightly different and the resolution is also slightly different. But I will not go into details with these technologies. It's just more as an overview. And some of the more detailed technology aspects will be covered in the talks in the later webinars. So please stay tuned. It is important for me to emphasize that in the technologies framed by CellX is not only limited to single cell sequencing. At the same time, there will also be a lot of expertise in bioimaging. So for example, MinFlux is purchased through the CellX grant, and it's a super high resolution fluorescence microscope. And then there is another LCMS-based single cell and spatial proteomics analysis platform also going to be established. And we have also purchased an Orbitrap Ascent Tribrid dedicated to this platform. And then the Hyperion imaging unit, which is coupled to the CyTOF instrument towards the spatial proteomics analysis, is already up and running here in AU Biomedicine. I know that in CellX, there is going to be established also 2 mergefish system, one in KU Copenhagen and one in SDU in Odense. Ultimately, after 5 years, the aim of CellX is that we will establish a national single cell in spatial omics platform. So hopefully that by that time, CellX can be open to many other different research groups for easy access. And it will also be open to health sectors as well as industry. So the idea will be that research projects can feed in, and this will go through some evaluation, and the projects will be analyzed on the different platforms inframed by CellX, and you will obtain single cell spatial multi-omics analysis data from the platform. And then hopefully by that time, all the data can be fed into an established integrated data analysis pipeline, and will lead to ultimate research output and novel molecular signature identification. So CellX actually officially started in May 2022. It will be fully open in April 2027. And during the 5 years establishment time, there will of course be implementation of the equipment, the establishment of the different services. And it is very important at this time that we already start feeding in with proof of principle projects to see what comes out of these different platforms. And then once the data have obtained from the multi-platforms, then it is the basis from where we could start developing the integrated data analysis platform. CellX really have this national setup, this really nice triangle national setup. So with core sites located both in AU, both in Aarhus, SDU, Odense, and also KU Copenhagen. So we're really working on to see if we can find a working model where we have the single entry point project feeding pipeline. So ideally, one could feed in project through CellX, and this will undergo evaluation through management group. And then once it's been approved, then and also with availability from the different platforms, the data will be acquired, and then preliminary data analysis will at least be provided, and some of the more advanced or customized analysis can be then discussed with or dealt with. And then hopefully after running through it, there will be an analysis output. So an updated CellX team at the moment is that there will be from Aarhus, the AU Biomedicine is a part of it. And then also here, I have included MoMA and SDCA as individual core sites. And then there's, of course, Odense from SDU, and then SDU from Odense and KU from Copenhagen. So one of the things I want to highlight here is that it's important to know that in Copenhagen KU, they have already a functioning single cell core, the brick single cell core. Then another thing is that MoMA also has a single cell core. So the thing why I brought this one up is because this only means that CellX really have different core sites or user groups that have expertise already on the different areas. And also I want to highlight here in Odense that they really have a lot of experience in the bioimaging. So Jonathan actually is also the director of the Danvik Imaging Center. All in all, this is CellX. And then hopefully in the long run, we want to also attract, when everything is running smoothly, we want to attract more users. A nice overall view of CellX, where the different technologies, what the different technologies are and where they're located. So for example, the single cell seq and the Visium, the spatial sequencing from 10x is actually pretty well adapted and developed. So these will be actually available both from AU, MoMA, KU, and SDCA. Visium will also be available at multiple places. Visium HD is gonna be out. It will be out soon. It's not out yet. And then there will be CosMX and GeoMX from NanoStream, which is located in AU and MoMA. And there will be 2 Merfish systems from KU and SDU. And there is a LCMS-based single-cell and spatial proteomics analysis platform establishing at Biomedicine AU. And as I mentioned before, that Hyperion Helios working towards spatial proteomics is up and running here at Biomedicine AU. And then MinFlux system, the super resolution fluorescence imaging is located in SDU. So once data have obtained from different platforms, hopefully we will start and get more resources into developing the integrated bioinformatics analysis platform. Here I want to just also show a short slide on CellX management. So I think with all the different core sites and user groups where the different services will be established, they should have their own management independence because there are many different technical personnel and expertise involved. However, it is a nice vision that CellX in the whole run could help facilitate the user group collaboration and also the initial pilot project collaborations between the different groups and also between the groups and the outside groups, and run some projects, pilot projects through the different platforms. Hopefully this will facilitate research, which will give positive feedback on the different core sites and user groups to help with their local management, to help with the fundraising, and also to keep up with the technical upgrade. And then, of course, at the same time, all these projects that were run through will also give feedback on the service itself, where whether or not it needs optimization, or maybe the services need more upgrading. And all in all, I hope that this whole loop will help to speed up the final service establishment. And importantly, when all the pilot projects run through, it will help promote integrated analysis. And with that, I'm coming to my last slide. So I want to once again go through the CellX vision with all of you. So CellX is really working on to bring together the single cell and spatial omics analysis community within Denmark and really help to facilitate the communication between us and to facilitate the sharing of resources so that we could benefit our own research. And then CellX will be in 5 years' time established as a national-wide infrastructure aiming to provide easy access to cutting-edge single-cell and spatial omics technologies. And then, of course, at the same time, CellX will really contribute already from this stage to sharing of knowledge and to education. So once again, CellX will not be a static infrastructure as it is shown now in my presentation. So we are really aiming to establish a dynamic infrastructure that will sustain and promote research in the long run. That's it from me.